So it seems like it might be a good time in history to talk about Job and this story of a man who was doing extremely well, and then all of a sudden, from every angle, seemingly at God's allowance, if not instigation, it all goes very, very badly for Job. And there's so many different interpretations of what the lesson is we're supposed to learn from this very ancient story of a man who suffers a great deal, not only from his circumstances, but also from his friends comforting him. And often the stories point to the character of God, or point to how we are to respond to situations of suffering and this kind of thing. And it may not surprise you, but I want to offer an entirely different approach to the story and what it means. I'm thinking that this story actually addresses something so important and so fundamental and almost universally misunderstood, and that is the notion of how righteousness works. And we'll find as we go through, I'm only going to have a few dips into Job. We won't go into all the many dialogues there. We can sum up some of the arguments and get a sense of what is being said over the next couple of weeks. But what we're going to find is that a view of righteousness, which I imagined a lot of you would share as well, it's very commonly held and kind of has a certain natural logic to it, that if you do good things, theoretically God blesses you and good things happen. And the inverse is also true. If bad things happen to you, it's because you've been naughty. And the story of Job is actually a story about a good man who never stopped being good, yet who experienced some very, very bad things that happened to him. And we need to come to terms with what that means for the way righteousness functions in our world. And it's really easy to try and draw quite straight lines using the kind of rudimentary understanding of the way cause and effect might work, and lay blame on particular characters in the story. But I think Job is trying to break open a myth that we too often blame the innocent and allow those who do wrong to not be seen for the wrong that they do. So we're going to look at Job and see if there's some good things we can learn and gain from that. It'll be a slightly challenging walk, I think. It's going to challenge some of our deepest held assumptions and presuppositions. So be ready for a bit of a ride on that one. Yeah. It was great to enjoy our communion service led by Robin this morning, and using the beautiful Pioik bread that Shady and Rose make available to us. Thanks, Shady and Rose. We really appreciate it. And our musicians are sounding better than ever. We're missing Anne, of course, with a broken wrist, but she's recovering, and she may even come along and add a bit of percussion. Can't keep a good musician down, not in our place. It's great to welcome a few new people over the past couple of weeks, and we're really glad to have some new faces or new names in the squares on the Zoom call. And yeah, we're looking forward to a time when we might actually be back in person. We can see what we all look like with long hair. That day will come. So will a haircut. Okay, enough nonsense from me. God bless. Keep your chin up. If you need to walk, you do need to walk, of course, but if you want to walk with me, give me a yell. I'll probably try and get in touch with people again this week and just see how you're going, and if anybody is in need of a walking partner to keep you motivated and out there. Until then, God be with you.